Welcome back as we join another game in the ESL 1 Rio Southeast Asia qualifiers. This time joined by myself, Jevons, and my co-caster Blake as we see what FFAMIX can do against the likes of Division Gaming. Blake, how are you doing?
I'm doing pretty well. How you doing, buddy?
Pretty good. Fairly hyped to see these two go head-to-head so far. We've gotten a fair bit of FFAMIX to sort of pour across there and see exactly how they're doing, especially considering they beat Absolute. But enough of that, though, as they burst out onto this B-side. Bomb is dropped, though. They've lost control of it as a result of that. They'll get the control back. It's up to Dreamy here by the looks of it to try and take this back, but he has been called out. He should get capped right from the back. And that's it. Yeah, Division having a fairly quick and explosive first round there to first round on Dust 2.
I thought Dreamy might be able to turn around for a second there when Alan missed so many shots, but unfortunately, it just wasn't. Bill didn't realize that Alan was right behind him.
No, and I guess B-side and Dust 2 is truly one of the most difficult sides to retake in the game. So doing it
absolutely.
at a absolute player disadvantage is well, some people could pull it off, maybe if the stars align, but it wasn't to be. Hop into the second round though, and FFAMIX have actually forced up here, which might catch Milo off guard at the very least. This scout here from Forsaken is doing quite a bit of work, but Dark Lord and Different are looking to put this CT site in their place. Well, he comes in. This should allow Division to get the plants, which they will do. Things slowing down a little bit, except for Enery going the way of
Dreamy.
Yeah, that was a particularly good shot. The bomb hasn't actually gone down yet, and I think they're just trying to wrap around and finally take out Dreamy there, which they're able to do. That's it, 2 rounds to them. Money is going to be a bit of an issue on FFAMIX there, so they might get a few pistols, but as far as Division's concerned, this is pretty much the point where they want to start building up that bank.
Definitely, and Dreamy, I want to see him pull out the orb. After hitting that shot on the scout, almost getting the second one, he's going to be the guy to watch with the orb.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
SG down mid, this is not something you see too often. Usually see somebody at least pick up a scout to face mid, but everyone loves the SG now, so it's something you're going to see more and more.
I guess so, yeah, and there's still a couple of things that can provide you. Even if you're not necessarily doing too much damage to the other side of the CTs, you're getting a lot more information. It's easy to actually see what people are doing, and Enery, you have to get out of there. You're on fire. Enery has to get out of car on long. Seemingly just wanted to stand there and burn alive. I guess maybe I didn't see it from their perspective, so they could have tried to sort of get out of the way, maybe get into a sneaky spot in the corner there, but with a couple of CTs already going down there on long, it should just be a matter of a few seconds there before the rest of them go down. That's pretty much it. It's left to Forsaken.
Forsaken with the deagle. Gonna miss that shot. Gets tapped down by Alan. And Division, well, they haven't had too much of a challenge coming up into this match, have they?
No, and it doesn't look like they're about ready to have a challenge just yet. But in 3 rounds in, it's still early days, of course, and we're actually seeing 2 orbs come out of the side of FFAMIX there, so that provides them with a lot of stopping power, which they haven't had so far, and could be a good weapon to use. Another way of looking at it, though, is if you're having to invest into those double orbs this soon, it kind of says that you might not have too much in the ways of a CT side at Dust 2. Anyways, things are...
What is Forsaken doing? He's able to get up mid, gets 1 kill, but will he be able to fall back without Alan spotting him or Milo? Milo will be able to spot him out, take him down. So it's an even 1-for-1 trade, but, you know, Forsaken, not sure whether that was the best idea. Could it be? We'll see how that plays out during the rest of the round. But there are still 2 AWPs in the hand of FFAMX.
Well, it's had a bit of an effect actually, because I mean it gets FFAMix a lot of information, but if you take a look at what the rest of DivisionX are doing now, they're on the T side of the map and they're creeping around. They're having to check every single corner, and it's because of things like that with Siren there. He didn't land the shot this time, but he was ready for them. Anyways, they are going to make A their home. Plant that bomb there if they can. And FFAMix just completely routed and dissolved. Removed from the map.
Yeah, both of those AWPs missed. 3 shots were missed, and absolutely getting taken down immediately. Clean, crisp headshots on the last 2 players. First one a little bit messy in Division. I mean, FFAMix has had 1 tough game. They stomped, I believe, 16-1 in the first round, and then had a tough game in the second one.
Yeah, it was against Absolute, which we saw earlier this evening, I believe, against My Revenge. So not necessarily a pushover team either to do that against as far as the tournament's concerned.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, so FFAMix haven't just had a completely easy ride here. It has taken a bit of a blood, sweat, and tears for them, but Division might not necessarily care too much about that because they have been absolutely tearing it up their entire journey to round 4 so far of the open qualifiers. So yeah, it could be that their momentum from those previous victories is just too strong and they're seemingly invincible.
We'll
Anyways,
see if Oreo can do anything. He has a 5-7 sitting down next to the stairs. He's probably going to be put out in second by Milo. There it is. Will be taken down. And what do you feel like FFAMix needs to do in this round to stop Division from just running away with it like they have been?
well, I mean, part of it is getting those 2 AWPs there. Again, if you're not entirely
3
certain.
AWPs this time.
3 AWPs. That was exactly what I was going to say. When 2 AWPs fails, 3 AWPs. It's math, okay?
Well,
it's pure math.
I'm not feeling the triple AWP either. Yeah, the last 2 AWPs, they didn't really do anything. The shots were missed, and they weren't exactly the most difficult shots to hit either. I do like the 3 players towards long at the start, but the first shot goes down, and Sikan coming straight out, taking down Oreo, and they're still fighting here at long. Forsaken will be able to get one. Styron getting one back, and Forsaken as well through the wall. Different, taking down Styron. Now it's down to just, who is it? Forsaken to hold down long. Dreamy will be falling back. Almost spots out Dark Lord, but the B site is completely open if Different can recover this bomb from out on long. He has to face up against Forsaken though.
Yeah, well, I mean, what is happening here? There we go. Forsaken finally puts down Different. That was a bit of an odd moment, but it's given Dark Lord at least a chance to try and get away with this AWP. And to be honest, that's exactly what I was looking for. Thank you, Dreamy. Pick up an M4 rifle, anything at this point, because those AWPs are going to be maybe a little bit too cumbersome, a bit too awkward to try and quickly rotate and defend a site. But anyways, Dreamy he's got the lineup here, but he's lost the line of sight. Dark Lord is going to be able to get a plant here.
As soon as he puts the bomb, he's going to know that Dark Lord's here.
Oh yeah, and Dreamy's actually just waiting. Oh no, the game's given up. Dark at least knows where one of them's going to be. Can see the other as well. Fortunately, they're taken clean off there, so still an incredibly expensive round for FFAMix, but it's good that they're able to try and stop this, and they get 2 of the AWPs back. So maybe we should just not mock the 3 AWPs approach there and appreciate what it's done for FFAMix, and that is get them around to the board.
Okay, I won't mock the 3 AWPs, but I will mock Aniri with the 0 kills.
That's a bit harsh, but
I'm sorry. I'm a mean person.
Look, And on the complete opposite scale, you've got Different, who's on 11 kills so far. This early in the piece is obviously doing a fair bit of work there. This
Oh,
Quad
look
A
at
defense is an
Dreamy.
absolute show though, because
Look at
take a
Dreamy.
look at B.
Dreamy's pushing in from behind all the players on the B side. Zaneri's the only player on the B side. Gazell's get taken down, and now Dreamy's coming in from behind with an AWP. Why does he have an AWP and is pushing so heavily? We'll be able to take down Talent. Gets the second shot onto Milo as well. Now the T's are trapped in the B side, but you do have a Different on the outside. I feel like I have an idea he might be out here, but if they don't, this is going to be huge.
Oh no.
Only gets one.
It's a little bit of a whiff there, but this is again still the most difficult side to retake the game traditionally, and well, you know what? Never mind. They take it back. Same two players, same two AWPs. It's magic, is what it is, and it's hopefully going to take FFAMIX to an even scoreline at least, as long as they can keep up the economy, which is taking a bit of a beating. That's the other side of this, is that even though they're winning these rounds, the CT economy isn't designed to withstand heavy losses, despite getting those wins.
Well,
So if they can't keep up with it and can't make these rounds a bit more convincing, I think they're still in a little bit of trouble.
yeah, neither side's really built to sustain heavy losses, but if you want to be on any side and losing, you want to be on the T side. It's a little bit less expensive to lose that weaponry.
Absolutely. Now, got an interesting setup here with Dark and Milo just at the bottom and mid there. Oh, Dark, that is unfortunate. Flash goes in and Dreamy's instant reflex is to take the shot. It's done exactly what they've needed it to do. Look, it feels terrible when it happens to me, as I'm sure Iniri feels pretty terrible about getting shot in the back there. It's going to be a split B approach, which is perfect. There's no CTs on that side of the map to do anything about it.
I'm concerned about Iniri not falling back or where the communication was there. Because Dreamy got pushed back into CT and they would have known that they would be able to push up. And Dreamy will be able to find Different, just blinded a little bit by the edge of that smoke. Forsaken coming back into the B side, gets the first, gets the second, takes them out. And that is FFAMIX getting another round on the board.
Yeah, exactly. And this is the kind of clean round I was talking about before that they need. They keep all of their players alive. Collectively, between the rest of them, they can drop a rifle and let Iniri get back into this without any problems whatsoever. I guess on the side of Division, though, oh no, they've got an AK for Milo there. It was just dropped on the ground for him. Yeah, they might have bigger problems. Not that Dreamy is going to factor into them too much. And this approach onto Long A is a little bit ballistic. Different. I don't know if he actually wants to keep on playing into this. I mean, the bomb's coming around behind to, you know, take the Long A approach to the site, but oof. That's
a bit of an off there.
Ophelia. That's one ult down.
Forsaken's next in line though. Will he be able to survive this? There are a few nades coming out his way. He is actually smoked completely out. If Division can get close enough here, that could be deadly, and he's going to try and fall back, but Alan in the pit, will he be able to spot him? No, he will get taken down.
Ooh. That was...
I feel like Alan should have had that.
Maybe, but we not seeing it from Talent's perspective. I can't rightly say, but from Forsaken's, he just catches the
tip of the head.
Tip of the head, which is blended in with the colors of the background there. So good shot from him. That's giving him 2 kills on the board there, and he is pretty much going to be one leading the charge into his B side. He's anticipated it though.
He is, but he gets dropped.
Yeah.
Now just stop the siren.
I mean, depending on what FFA do, they take their time, and it's too much.
Ooh.
The delay that can come in here from planting the bomb is massive.
Oh no.
Yeah, creeping through smoke. Look, these tournaments will have a bit more of a like feel to them, because a lot of these players won't necessarily have faced up against each other before, or not in a while, or in these specific lineups. So I guess you would get a few moments like that.
I want to bring up the first kill of the round, which was a shot through mid doors with FFAMIX. Don't remember which player exactly tried to peek out and got taken down. It's not an easy fight to be peeking T spawn with an AWP, and to lose an AWP in a player that early in the round is not something you can exactly risk with a couple of rounds down this early in the game. I mean, you can risk it this early in the game, but it's better to be playing safe to try and make up that deficit.
Oh yeah, that's definitely one approach to it. And I guess the carry-on effect of that is that if you lose a player, especially one of the ones who's been sort of helping you get those W's on the board, then you feel perhaps a little bit less confident overall as to how the round is going to play out there. So it was Dreamy, I believe, who would have died in that case. They still had Forsaken, but yeah, it wasn't necessarily going to work out too well.
Look at this.
Anyways, short A is the approach here, and trades come in. Starin's dead, but the absolute onslaught waiting to come in from the T's does take effect. Different.
Not a fan of that.
It was a bit messy, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, Forsaken fell back to flash Styron in, but at the same time, it sort of just the timing wasn't right. The flash didn't come out in time, so Styron sort of just was standing there holding his gun and not really knowing what's happening when he had 3 players rush around the corner into his face. But now Division will be able to get onto the A site.
Yeah, I mean these angles are going to be tough, but Dark taking advantage of Oriophilia's drawn attention will get a kill, and NRI is in a very tough position. Not that it's nothing the USP can't handle. Apparently, oh, that was an excellent kill to make. Actually spotted this other player, this other T. I don't know if just the edge of
He's sticking it.
Look, that's a little bit heartbreaking. That was a good effort, but yeah, Talent's just well, too full of the stuff. He was able to pretty much peak at the right time there. And you're also right in that sticking that plant might have been a bit of a death sentence there. I can't remember exactly how much time they had left on the bomb itself, but if they could have baited out the shot there, it seems like yeah, Oriofilia was anyway, sorry, was pretty much good and ready to take Talent's head clean off. Oh. Look at this.
This could be perfect for the CT side. There's the first 1D. Can they do any more? There's the USP kill that coming out. CZ kill as well. Sicken's the only player left towards this B site. He does have the bomb in hand, but it looks like he's going to try and rotate off. And Styron's sitting down here in mid, ready for this.
This could be huge. It's a Deagle, but you know, Sicken is already on low health. Oh no! Look. All things considered, that wasn't the worst, and it's actually going to be Forsaken who's already ready, but he's going to have to win this firefight. But yeah, Sicken was already anticipating the route there. Forsaken had a couple of different angles to look at, so was in a bit of a bad position, and Division's up to 8 rounds, so they've effectively won the half, which you can say in an incredibly balanced map like Dust 2. Yeah, at this point, it's pretty much damage control for FFAMIX.
Definitely, and I had a look back at that clip of the mid-door shot a couple rounds ago. I don't actually think he was trying to face it. It looked like he was just crossing back through the doors, and it was a very, very nice shot. Extremely good reaction times getting him back on the cross back, and Styron will be able to get 1 falls down though, and Forsaken finds one of his own from coming up short. Will try and come back to get another bit, a little bit too aggressive, and loses his own head.
They're running straight into A as well. I think they've tried to sell that mid to B split there, but Oriofilia is actually anticipating this, and with his teammate Dreamy nailing an absolutely excellent shot there onto Different, following out with another one onto Talent. Yeah, Division don't really have too many options here. They're 1 versus 3. Trying to get something going. The only thing that is going to work for Sicken in this case is the fact that all these CTs have rotated A, and that advantage is slowly going away. As Oriofilia does decide to keep an eye on mid at least. Oh,
This is interesting. You normally see at least one player go towards B, and Sicken, I feel like he's trying to bait them to make them split sites, and he's heading out towards A, which is actually where Aniri is sitting here with his AWP. And in a couple seconds, he's actually missed that shot. Sicken will be able to come out, but Aniri, too quick with this repeak, takes him down, and that's not what Division needs. Them economy is actually in ruins at the moment.
absolutely. And with that, I guess I'm going to say that what FFAMIX did there was a bit of a gamble.
Interested on this.
Sicken had all the time in the world to actually go back the long way into B and not actually go through mid like they're expecting. So yeah, it worked out for them in this case, but it's looking like it will be. It was originally, I think, going to be a Russian to B, but the Molotov there, and especially Dreamy's pick onto Milo, will actually compress them into these tunnels without too many options available.
Oh my god.
That's a bloodbath. That is an absolute bloodbath.
They didn't really have the weaponry to be able to fight back against that either, so Division just running into the blender.
Pretty much.
It's like that episode of Simpsons at the school.
Look, as far as you take that from FFA's perspective, they got to feel good about that. With the scores as they are, having those very quick and just decisive wins in a round is what's going to fire you up and get you in a good space.
Hold up.
Oh wait, no, it's actually going to be lowers in the Dreamy that you want to be watching.
To making this aggressive play again, Styron's going to be at top mid, so he's going to have a really quick flank around long. I know it is only pistols, but if Styron keeps trying this, even on gun rounds, FFA might be shutting down Division. And I mean, there is only one round left in this half, though.
After this one, yeah. I mean, honestly, it's been working out particularly well for them because this is. You're asking me much earlier in the map what FFAMIX would need to do to basically undo Division, and it seems like getting Styron to find these little gaps in the defense, do a bit of reconnaissance, and perhaps even just ride around them as soon as Division want to try and press a site or take an engagement. Having Styron lurk like that has been really good for them. The last map, round of the half, sorry. Henry's not going to be alive for too much longer. Styron's also dying. Lurk did not quite work out this time. And this provides Division with a chance to actually make this a better half than they might have been expecting. It's 9-6. FFA are going to be divvied up between these two sides. The only exception being Forsaken, who is lurking around a little bit, but the executes. The utility is raining down onto long A, onto the
He
cross.
spotted the pixels. Dark Lord will be able to come down, take him out. So Division, they have all three players over here. All three players of FFAMIX. Wario, his head will be spotted, gets taken down.
Yeah, I mean, Dreamy. Different was almost clairvoyant in that moment, I guess. And Talent there holding a particularly fearsome angle will pretty much make this the best score that Division could have hoped for towards the end of that half. FFA, though, 6 rounds is entirely doable, so given how this started out, this is still good-ish news for them.
Oh, absolutely. Being 9-6 from, what was it? I think it was 6-5-0 or 6-1. So it wasn't the best start of the game.
Yeah, I think it was about 6-1.
6-1, 6-2. So they weren't looking too strong at the start. Division was looking absolutely incredible after, well, the current showings. There was only 16-8 was the closest scoreline they've had, and so they've been looking strong. Haven't really faced anyone that's been putting them to the test, and now FFAMIX coming out wants to show that they are actually a competitor, and Division's not going to run away with every match that they play.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna have a look at Division's previous games, just chase those specific scores up again because, to be honest, off the top of my head, I dare say that FFAMIX have scored more rounds off of them than Division's two previous opponents, which is big, I guess. Anyways, we are into the pistol round, second pistol round, and Division are going for a rather aggressive approach here as far as CT side is concerned. It was short-lived, however, and if they've called this correctly and they're seeing this movement up onto catwalk there, this could be huge. It's going to be a mid to B split,
Oh,
but
no.
Division are waiting for this. The absolute kill box is set up there between B side and mid, and that's given Staren pretty much a very bad situation to work with, one that he's not going to be able to get out of.
That's a round we haven't seen from Division in a while. Since the start of the game where Division was looking dominant, this round they only lost one player and I believe about 50 HP on different. So if Division's coming out hot in the second half, I'm hoping that they can keep it up. And if not, FFAMIX might be able to bring this back and run away with it.
Maybe, but the opportunities to do that, I think, are getting away from them. And I did just have a look at the scores for the previous matches. My mistake, Division has had a grand total of 12 rounds taken off them from their two previous opponents. 8 and 4 respectively, if you work backwards. So, yeah, FFAMIX is just a couple of rounds off from... Oh, sorry. They need 12 to match it. And of course, they would want another 10 to see themselves through to the next round. But with Desert Eagles, I think their best chance is going to be just damage, and that's about it.
One tap.
Not actually getting the out.
Canary somehow surviving Milo for a couple of seconds there. Had a chance. Unfortunately, wasn't able to hit those shots, and it looks like FFAMIX wants to go up short. If Styron can get the shot here on second, it might actually force a little bit of a rotate, but no, they are actually going to push out onto A little bit early. Instead of trying to bait out a rotate and get mowed down by Talent on short.
If you had to pick an absolute standout player, which has been pretty much winning these for Division, I'm having a bit of a hard time doing it. I mean, different talent are kind of the main two I'd go for, but to be honest, Dark Lord has actually had some fairly good openers that he plays. But yeah, anyways, we can leave that thought alone for now. They are, by they I mean FFAMIX, bursting out into long A with little regard for what's ahead of them, except for the utility they are dropping down. Hoping it'll get them to this A side safely, and for the meantime, it is Talent actually getting torn to shreds through the smoke. Bombs dropped though. Styron with a excellent flick there will take out Dark Lord. This is all over the place.
I'd
actually think this is potentially the first save we've seen in quite a while.
Yeah, absolutely.
If at all.
Absolutely. I feel like them. No, I think that was actually last match I'm thinking of. So, yeah, I don't think there actually has been a save in this game. Everyone's been getting taken out quite evenly. And going back to the standout player for Division, I feel like it might actually be Milo. I know Dark Lord and Talent, they've been up there getting the kills, but I feel like Milo's had more impactful kills when he has been getting them.
Oh no. Well, Sick and Indifferent get completely... Well, they're pretty much hunted down, and they don't get to carry those guns forward, which is good for FFAMIX. They're able to keep the CT economy down, and that's a interesting point about Milo there, because yeah, if you take numbers and just don't look into them at all, you'd see Milo as maybe just sort of the... Obviously not an anchor, but 8 kills, everybody else is 13 and above. So, yeah, you'd be potentially overlooking Milo. So I'm gonna have to I'm gonna have to pay closer attention to him and just look for these impactful kills. Anyways, this is a somewhat awkward pistol round coming out of Division. Bombs planted. They wanted to get the stack there. FFA don't really seem to have much of a problem with hunting at all. It's basically, it's seemingly a matter of, if we've planted the bomb and nobody's coming to us, we're coming to them, and we're making sure that nothing makes it through to the next round. They're actually losing a lot of players from it. That's expensive, and I don't know if Sicken can grab that AK. Yep, he will. He will get it. But that's basically meant that whilst they did spend a lot of time and effort trying to take those guns away, they might have spent too much on that. In fact, Dreamy is back down to the MAC-10, and that's a money-making weapon. You don't do that when you already got bank. You do that when you need to make bank. And with Dreamy's forte being the AWP, at least for what we saw in the CT half, I think that's basically him trying to get back to it. Different has pretty much gotten himself a couple kills there, just from Forsaken and Dreamy running out of smoke. I don't think he's going to complain. Why would you? But it's put FFA in a bit of an odd spot where they need to figure out what is going on in the rest of the map there, and Dark Lord has actually moved up behind towards top mid there, and he is going to catch out Oreo as the rotate comes through.
No, he's not. Oreo's going to catch him out.
Oh, talent though.
We'll find an area.
And actually sees that it's the bomb.
That is the bomb, but Oreo gets another kill. There is still a minute in this round. He has a smoke and a Molotov to play with, so he could do something else here. If he wants to, he could go for it, but at this point, he's just taking his time. Doesn't want to get taken down too early, and he does really have the room to play with. So he doesn't step out too far into Milo's crosshair. Should be okay, but it looks like Milo might be the first player to see him. Has his back to him, will be able to get spotted out. Now it's a battle between him and Sican, it looks like. Talent pushing up short just a little bit. For Oreo peeks his head at all. At this point, it looks like he might just need to save back off 20 seconds left. There's not enough time in the round. He's going to push up short, and Talent with the AWP will be able to take him down. Division getting another round, but FFAMIX, they've stepped up a lot since the start of the game.
Oh yeah, and especially Forsaken and Dreamy as well. Those two players that did have the AWPs, they have pretty much been able to do a lot with them. They haven't had as much success on the T half though, just using them. So yeah, the reason I bring that up is that it does make me think what happens in these kind of rounds where you do have just Deagles and AKs. In this case, single AK. Are they able to have the impact, or is it just purely a we need the money to get the heavy weaponry? We can't necessarily outmaneuver this other side. But anyways, we'll see that now, of course, as Styron actually puts himself in an interesting position in mid there. He was waiting for somebody from CT to poke their head, but
there it is.
Enough of that. Well, yeah, he does take off Dark Lord's head.
It was a very nice one tap.
Too enthused about that. Oh, Sicken catches just a hint of Dreamy shoulder and chops it clean off with that AK. Dreamy being brought down to 79 health. And they've successfully just split the CT defense in half.
There it is. I was waiting for the AK to be swapped over to somebody with full HP. Deagle dropped over to Dreamy, and Forsaken taking that AK now.
Styron surely would want to try and grab that weapon.
It looks like he wants to, but he's being covered off by Different at the moment, it looks like. So as long as Different stays peeking, Styron will be able to take it.
Yeah. That's the thing. Sometimes you get crazy range, more than you really should be able to with that E button. Pick things up, and oh, Talent is popping off. He gets himself 2 kills there. Bomb plant will go down, which as far as his Nico is concerned is what you want.
What? Milo!
Oh.
Siren should not
Okay.
get away with that.
Strange, leading into strange as Styron somehow survives that, then leaps off the balcony to his death, and leaving Oreo here to somehow withstand this 3 CT assault.
And not happening.
That was odd.
A little bit. It's a bit of a strange round. Siren didn't know what he was doing, and Division. It looked a little bit shaky, but now this half, they've pulled it together.
Ooh, so it's 13-8. This is starting to get mighty severe. More intense, you could say, for FFA. There's not much room for them to work with. This is a best of one, so they lose it here. That's it. They're out of the qualifiers, I believe. Should be it for them.
It will be out. I believe it's just straight through. So whoever wins and gets through to the end of the qualifiers. And it looks like after this match, we will have a little bit of a break before we can come back and cast anything else. So enjoy for the moment. And then I'm not actually sure what we'll be bringing to you next, but I'll let you know when we do know. And in theory, we'll be able to come out mid. Tag Dark Lord just a little bit. It looks like he might be heading for a mid to be split. Different, able to take down Ineri. Will be able to get the second as well. Yes, he will. Molotov going down in the tunnels. Talent actually finding Siren on short. It looks like Oreo, not Oreo, sorry. Dark Lord wants to push up and be aggressive in the tunnels, but the smoke's blocking him out.
Yeah, I mean, like you've got to feel for FFA in these situations, because you can see that they've got a plan in mind when they go for these aggressive pushes, and when they lose these engagements, it's seemingly it comes across like they just don't have any mid-round plan, or they don't know what they're going to do if they lose 1 or 2 players.
The adaptability's shaky.
Yeah, that's... There we go. Summarize my 5 sentences of rambling into into one. Thank you, Blake. But that's exactly it. As that old saying, no plan survives contact with the enemy, and at least
never
from what we've
does.
seen, FFA want to basically go and win these rounds with all 5 players alive, which is great. But you gotta plan for those contingencies, which almost always happens. You're almost always going to lose a player, and T side traditionally is about being able to trade off your kills, your losses.
Looks like when that player has lost the communication in the mid-round strategies fall apart. And Milo able to get 3 kills there with the help of Dark Lord and Talent. Talent throwing a flashbang. Not actually sure where it came from. Probably up towards the A side. Forsaken coming out long. We'll be able to take down Milo. Picks up a weapon that somehow avoids that shot from Talent. We'll be able to find Talent as well. There is a player up towards A side about to find Styron. Actually, no, Styron will find him, and Forsaken coming in from long.
They don't know it though. They're not expecting long. It's only going to be Forsaken who's actually looking for it, and he manages to catch out Sicken in that case. That was an absolute mess. But one that FFA won, so it was pretty much just let's throw all of our utility in long A, and then we'll just see who wins after that. It was very head on. And to be honest, it was one of those things that we knew most times when you see a T side doing this, just running through utility and just going straight for the brawls there, they normally go in, as you say, run into the blender. But anyways, they're going to try this again. It worked from the last time. We'll keep on doing it until it stops working. And as far as Styron's concerned, it's going to work forever.
If it ain't broken, don't fix it.
Oh, that is some talented survival instincts there from Talent, except...
Oh my god, Forsaken. So close to getting sick and just able to hide behind that wall. And Dark Lord, last player left alive, will come up from long. Gets the first kill. Will he be able to find the last 2 players of FFAMIX? He will be able to avoid that flashbang, but was about to walk into 2 crosshairs. Drops down a Molotov, gives himself a little bit of room. Both players are sitting in CT, so if he makes it to the site, he has a decent chance to win this. Pop flashes himself across. Taps the bomb. And the boost will come out. He's ready for the boost, but his head will get taken down. Forsaken able to stop Dark Lord and bring it just one more round closer in Division. They don't have any money to be able to be continuing to play through this.
No, and I guess it's at those moments there where if you've got that lead, at that point it's it's a 5-round lead, yeah, 4. If you've got that lead and you know your money's got to be a bit off next round, and I mean it's 1 versus 2, it's iffy, right? You don't know if you should be saving or not. In some cases, in this particular one, with the power of hindsight, we can see that Sigan might have wanted to save. But at the same time, with that lead as well, you've got those rounds to burn, try and build your money back up. So, yeah, it is a little bit of a tough one there. And actually getting himself 2 cheeky kills in mid there, and this could provide his comrades with a few weapons to work with, especially Talent.
You know what might be good for Division right now? Tactical timeout. It could work wonders. They have been having a little bit of trouble. So it might be nice for them to have that timeout, just a little bit more time to talk about it. And right now, with different running away to save with this AK, they could be sitting here talking about strategies and planning what they need to be doing.
Oh yeah, and we were talking about this the other night actually when we were looking, when we were covering those couple of MDL games. As far as the Australian or Oceanic scene is concerned, there we've started to see more timeouts being called, and that was as far as we're concerned, a very refreshing change. With these kind of tournaments, to be honest, with a lot of the ones that we've seen for the Asian region, they so far the teams that we've seen they're not as ready to take those timeouts, even though there are obviously a lot of benefits to them. So it could be something that we see a bit of a shift in as time goes on. But hey, if there's a time for Division to call a timeout, maybe it's now. Maybe it's when you want to actually figure out what the heck's actually going on. Anyways, we will move in to the 26th round. I can math. And FFA's climb back up to an even scoreline seems to be well on its way. Enery's very much throwing caution to the wind as runs into this B side, actually getting a slight bit of a love tap there from mid. What will go down in B, and Division, they have some utility. The armor's low, it's flashes, it's single smoke, you got a kit, but yeah,
there's
taking B at the best of times when when you've got the player advantage is even a bit of a chore. So yeah, they're going to save again.
Yeah, they need to be saving here. They don't have the economy or even the firepower to be trying it. So going for the save, I hope that they're talking about strategies or potentially going to take a timeout just to give themselves more time to figure out what they need to do, because FFAMIX is not stopping. They're on a roll and they don't want to give Division just a single chance to stop them and move forward in this tournament.
A little bit of CS trivia about saving and using that as a timeout. The old SK lineup, the Finnish one from, I think it was like 5 or 6 years ago now. Sometimes if they were going to have an eco round, they'd actually just sit and spawn if they're on the T side and use the round as a chance just to talk things over then. So it actually kind of wastes one of their rounds, and oh lord, it is that it's the grinder again in long A, one that Division seemingly can't win.
But it seems to be working so well for FFAMIX. The flashes are perfectly timed. Styron coming up on short, always ending up on the A side. Perfect positioning to stop any players pushing through CT.
Yeah, I said crisp, but it actually almost ended up pretty bad for Styron now on about 12 health. But look at this. You have Styron, you've got Forsaken, and Dreamy as well. They're above 20. On the opposite side, you've got different talent. also above 20 there. So you've got your heavy hitters on both sides here, which I think is a lot of the reason why this is being made so competitive and why FFA's been able to come back so well. Talent taking a dreamy whilst being fully, if not mostly blind. That is a bit of a rough start there for FFA. And this is going to be a bit of a demonstration of what we were talking about before, where if they lose a player, how do they adapt to that? How do they make these decisions from there if their entire plan revolved around being able to throw everybody out of sight? And at the moment, they're seeming to be a bit more confident with it, at least, but they're going to be walking into perhaps a bit of a trap here. In B. They will just push through that, however, somehow just chewing through this CT defense. And that's it. The yeah, Division are locked out of this B site, and they've got to figure out if they want to take this 3v3. I think at this point they've got to. They have to.
They do have to.
You can't keep on throwing these rounds or just conceding them.
I mean, they could try one more save just so they have the weaponry to play here, but they don't want to let FFAMIX get to the tight scoreline. They do drop that smoke, so they have a little bit of room to play with. With the 3 players sitting here in perfect crossfire positions, we'll be able to stop any push coming in most likely. And Milo gets the first kill. Then they get more. Darklord goes down, and Talent needs to just fall back, save this AWP, and the terrorist will be hunting him. And actually, no, they won't be able to take him down immediately. Misses, actually tags Oreo,
no.
and everyone except for Talent goes down.
Yeah. I mean, FFA doesn't care. They've got all the money they could ever want at the moment. It's just a bit of a funny thing that Talent was able to indirectly get himself a couple extra kills by kiting them along and whittling down their health until the bomb just did the rest for him. Yeah, but look at that. We're 14 all. Something I don't think we're expecting to see, at least in those first 10 rounds. It was looking a bit dire for them.
You said back at FFAMIX getting 6 rounds that you thought that they took more rounds than previous games. You were wrong. It was 12. But
it was 12, yes. 12? I said that. I looked it up. Yeah, but now they've done better. They've gotten 14.
They've gotten 14. It looks like this is the hardest game that Division has had to play yet. And Darklord will get taken down. Talent goes down as well, and now it's just up to Different and Sick End. Go for one player on each side, and I feel like Different just needs to save his weapon, but it's just going to get taken down immediately. And FFAMIX, they're just running around playing Duck Hunt.
Yeah, and that's gotten them to match point. It's a strange kind of space or zone that you sometimes see these players get into, where they're basically treating it like a casual match, but it's because they're entirely in the zone. They're able to pretty much feel out how the entire round's playing, and they're not running into any issues. Now, this is what we call in the biz a disrespect play, bringing out the DAC. If they lose that that DAC and this round, and it comes back to them. Actually, no, sorry. What am I saying? If they lose, we're going to overtime, which would be wild.
It would be wild, but there's 4 FAMIXes and pretty much no utility, so it's going to be extremely difficult. We haven't actually seen Talent get behind the door yet, so him being up so close on long could work in their favor, but FFAMIX, they look like they want to be going slow and for another mid to B.
Yeah, I mean, with the way that FFA have been bursting onto these sites, just going through a hail of bullets and utility, I still think it's an incredibly risky play. It's worked out for them, but it could still see them playing overtime on this map, and that would be a bit of a bummer if you're on that side. That's putting it lightly, especially considering you've psyched yourself up and you've thrown just a lot of stamina and mental energy into bringing yourselves back to get yourself match point.
Well, I mean, you look at it too as well. You got the endurance that all of these teams have to face up with.
Ooh, it's B site. It is B site, and that is exactly what I was talking about. It is. Yeah, you can't just run into
No.
that hail of bullets isn't expected to work every time. You've got players like Dreamy who've been doing wonders, but look at that. We're
No.
going overtime. That's wild. That is absolutely wild. The fact that that is where we're at the moment. Division, hats off to them. That was a hell of a defense to pull off with nothing but Famisters and a bit of utility there.
That's just one
Especially
player.
against...
Should mode everyone down. Shut the push down.
Yeah, especially in window there. It was basically those two heads lined up and yeah, it was a conga line of death. And yeah, with that, these two sides, Division and FFA, which I believe are Vietnam and Singapore respectively, still on Dust 2, trying to find their way out to the next round. This FFA's been here before. Their last map was 16-14, so they've done one of these. We haven't actually seen what Division do just yet when they're forced to fight out a map as hard as they're going to have to here.
We have seen 2 overtimes already today. I'm just trying to remember who that was.
That was Absolute and Maya Revenge, I think, on Overbite.
So neither of the teams that are playing here, but Absolute did get taken down by FFAMIX, so 16-14. So they aren't up against weak teams previously. So they've had the experience. They've had a long game. They've had one 16-1 and one 16-14. So they've had one long game and one quick game. And Division has had, well, 2 medium games. So Division's probably a little bit more tired than FFAMIX is. But we'll see whether these teams can keep up the endurance or who's going to falter first.
Yeah. It's going to be a tough call. With FFA having already gone through something like that before, one, we know that they can do it, but two, that's obviously going to have had an impact on them. These open qualifier days can sometimes be an incredibly grueling experience for these teams. When you look at other events, your Tier 1, Tier 2, and Tier 3 events, so you say starting at closed qualifiers, those matches are spaced out a fair bit, and there's a reason why. It is a tough slog to play at that level and play at that stress level and continue doing it. But anyways, look at this. We're gonna see
one of the new flashbangs.
Dreamy.
Well, no!
I have seen that happen in a few of my pug matches, mostly by me. Oh, that is one of those moments where you say, I hate to see it. They're committing
that's the moments you love to see it.
Yeah, and they've got to take out this car defender. And, well, Sicken doesn't get the kill, but he provides the perfect opportunity there to do what he needs to do. Flash comes in, and that is perfectly placed and dispatches of Stern. And Division earn themselves the first round of overtime.
We have the...
But yeah, that skybox, it's just all that noise, all the rafters and other stuff up there in the top there, which has tripped up so many players trying to practice and learn these. Yeah, I think that skybox and the stuff up there is going to be tweaked, so it's easier to work with.
No. You need the skill level. You can't lower the skill ceiling just because people mess it up all the time. You need to have that skill level to do certain things, and that's the way the maps are built. That's why you have the top teams as the top teams. You have the skill behind it. And what are you doing, Oreo?
That was an amazing shot. At the same time, with a lot of trick throws, being able to throw flashes, smokes, grenades, anything like that in a particular way, the map designers and FMP1 specifically, I believe they basically try to make it so that you can pick out the telltale signs or just markers in the places around the skybox there where you're trying to throw utility.
That's why there's so much crap around in the rafter, so you can line up so many smokes, but you have to be
it's just too much
precise.
Too much crap. Yeah, but look at this. FFA not happy with the previous round, decide that this time they will win it, and that mindset has worked. It's back to 16 all. And, yeah, that will be diving into this. FFA, I think, managed to get themselves fairly
Oh,
comfortable on the T side after a while.
Dreamy.
Yeah.
He was flashed too.
Yeah, well, yeah, he was. That's a no bueno. That's no good. Look, we we've seen plenty of these kind of maps before with teams at this level and mixed levels and just absolute strangers to each other. Sometimes it just devolves purely into both sides doing the exact same thing each round because it keeps them working and just ends up with these even overtimes or even scorings, and it becomes a bit like Groundhog Day. I say that because I'm afraid it might happen here. So what we'd want to see from either of these sides is something a lot more innovative just to get them across the line and secure the win in overtime.
And that's what Stiren's trying to do here. He's trying to fake out towards the A site, but nobody has rotated over to where both of the players are still on the B site. Talent takes down Stiren, and now it's just a free-for-all on the B site. We do have Sticken still alive in the site. Will get taken down. They only get one player entering the B site before the T's get dropped. Talent drops, and now Milo is the last player left alive. He is pushing up very quickly, has a kit in hand, no utility to use. Will he be able to walk into the site, tap heads, or is Oreo going to take him down in just a second?
Well, he's not going to take him down, but he has two low health players. They both have orbs though, so only need to land one shot on him. A shot like that, for example. Yeah. That could have gone either way, but I mean, we've seen FFA defend a site like that, or at least we've seen these two AWPers play in late round situations like that, and they're a good team. A lot of their wins, a lot of FFA's wins have come from situations like that where they have been able to rely on players like Forsaken and Dreamy as a duo. But look, we're in the second half of overtime here. This one's heating up.
It is. I never expected this to be going to overtime.
No. I honestly, I thought it was going to be one of those situations where we see two sides which are seemingly performing well in their own journeys through the bracket, but then when they clash, obviously one comes out on top of the other. That's not happened here. These sides are fighting tooth and nail and doing it quite well. So honestly, part of me is going to be a bit sad to see it end. That is still a ways away. So we hop into the second half of the first overtime. These two sides are playing a little bit more conservatively. There's a bit more focus on mid to allow the rotations to come in if need be. But yeah, that's an interesting smoke. Anyways, Dark Lord, she's able to grab Stern by, throw it and send him right down to the depths of hell. Maybe a bit dramatic, but that was a good trade, and that is what you want to see on that T side. Dreamy, though, flashed, takes that first shot, is not able to land any particular hits with it, and this puts B in a bad spot. Forsaken is going to have to do some wonderful work here if he wants to keep hopes to defending the side alive, but it's just too many T's swarming around him like an angry swarm of bees, stinging him all over with AKs, and he just falls over. Can't defend the side anymore.
I'm relatively
surprised. It is
surprised.
40 degrees Celsius here, okay? So I'm burning alive, and this is what my brain does when it's dying, I think. But look...
It's either that or puns.
This is a fun series. This is a fun map, sorry. So, you know what? Let's have some fun.
Just leave the Oreo puns at home, and the Dreamy puns. Alright? It's not that bad yet.
Look, if we need to rely on them, we'll just pack them in right at the end. Just go for the double stuff Oreo metaphor approach, okay?
Well, at this point, Anira is getting taken out by Talent, and Oreo will be able to survive. It's not looking good for FFAMIX. I'm sort of surprised that they decided to save there, but at the same time, not. It is MK3 10k, so that means you only get 10k to play with. which means in the third round, if you don't play your economy properly, you don't have any money. So that save was required for them to be able to buy a ski and maintain that AWP. Look at this boost.
That's a boost to get the edge of the smoke there. Talent, you beast. He actually spots that. Okay, Dreamy is incredibly lucky as well. That could have gone so horribly for him, which is not what he was hoping. He was hoping he could just get the absolute drop there onto Talent, but it did not work out that way. Yikes. Oh, that was close. Look, Division, though, they've still got options. They've gotten a lot of real estate. They've purchased up over on Long A, and they've got themselves a lovely spot there in Pit. They don't have control of the space, though, not entirely, so I don't think... Yeah, they're gonna hold back and actually go for a proper execute here, which is perhaps the perhaps reasonable way to go about it. But they're still they're gonna have to deal with more CTs. It's given them so much time to actually rotate, and that's what we're seeing Dreamy do. Which Dreamy with that AWP, that's bad news. The enemy team, at least. That's commitment. It's gonna be split A, but Styron, look at this. How does he actually survive that and get 2 kills?
How?
What is wrong with you, Styron? That's not natural. Yikes! That is really going to ramp up the pressure for Division here. They want to try and lock out these CTs, and with Different and Sicken there ramping up their efforts. Oh, just Different now. Well, just nobody.
Yeah, just nobody now. Different gets taken down, and now it's just up to the defuse to happen.
Yeah. You remember, I mean, there's top 10 lists of it everywhere on YouTube. There's, have you ever personally lived one of those moments where you've got around just cleanly wrapped up like that, and the person's defusing, doesn't have a kit?
Oh no.
Has that happened?
That has happened, and that clean crisp 2K from Siren in mid.
Yeah, if that ended up with a well, I'll switch it. It didn't. That would be horrible. Dreamy. Now you mentioned this before. Oh no, wait. We can talk about that later though, because look at Styron. He's just running around uppers. He's gonna get so much information from this information that hopefully his surviving teammates can use. But he's going to have to make the call that it's going to be A, and look at that. Everybody is just running over to the defense this site. That utility is just adding further warning signs that it's going to be here, and Division, they're going to follow this up. I think they've got a good opportunity here to completely sort of fake.
They do have the ability to make the fake, but they are just going to go into A with the split from long and short. And Talent will get taken down by Forsaken. That was a very nice shot there. Forsaken able to get a second one. I didn't think he would be able to. Sicken tags him a lot. We'll be able to finally finish off the kill. Milo getting a kill onto an area as well, and bringing it back 18-18.
Look, I said I didn't want this to end, so I got my wish.
You didn't want it to end, but it's not going to end. It's going to keep going.
Look, I'm loving it. These sides, this is basically the process that you see two teams who just get to know each other. And now that they do, this is just a dance where each person has their moves to play, and it's keeping everything super even. Double overtime. That is going to be wild. It is wild.
It's
wow.
I'm hoping we don't have a quad overtime. I've sat through a quad overtime before.
You're hoping that we get like pentuple overtime, right? That's why you say that?
No, please. Please don't jinx it. Please don't make this happen.
Okay. Alright, I'll silently pray that happens.
How about we just go back to the game and forget that ever happened?
Okay.
I'd much rather that. And it looks like it might be a mid to B hit here. You do have Oreo down in mid. In CT, will be able to stop this? There is a smoke down. We have some room to play with. Gets taken down by Dark Lord, and Different up here. They don't realize that they're so close to the B site. That's just up to Siren. Everyone else has dropped so quickly on every other part of the map.
Yeah, that's 1 versus 5. B retake. That is not a retake. That is a run and
Death sentence.
take whatever you can get away with. Yeah, there was nothing he was going to be able to do. Both these sides have been very fond of hunting down their surviving players ruthlessly. So I don't think there was going to be much of a way out there for poor Styron, who's on a 30 bomb now. And as I say that, shoutouts to Different Talent for also making their 30 bombs. Dreamy's actually got an AWP again, so that's good. Except he's going close up and personal in uppers, taking out Talent, which, considering how much of a nuisance he's been quite good. Enery's there to throw the smoke and cover the retreat there, which is why they'll go for a bit more of a risky play. We have smoke coming in. Neatly covers up the door onto B itself, but that is a ruse. Everything is going to be happening over on mid.
Oh no!
Oh no.
No!
My
That's not how you
my
do this.
spectator's bugged, so I can't see anything at the moment, but that looked bad.
I'll bring you the replay in just a moment after this round. Dreamy will take that second. Milo drops as well. And let's take a look back at that kill.
Oh, I'm looking at it now.
That is not what you want to see there from your teammate. Just sprays you down in the back. That
it happens. It happens.
I mean, that was almost a full magazine. At that point, you should know to stop. I mean, it brings back memories of Hawk.
Shoot through their own teammate because they just want to secure the kill.
At that point, it's just Hawk all over again, and nobody knows who we're talking about. Hawk is somebody who constantly killed their teammates in another tournament that we casted. Almost every single round, they killed one of their teammates.
Yeah. We're not doing Hawk a proper service. He's a good player. He just sometimes shoots his own team. Sounds bad when I put it like that. But anyways, he is not in this tournament, so we're not going to be talking about him anymore. The focus here is FFAMIX and Division Gaming, and the fact that we're up to double overtime on Dust 2. Neither team really wanted to give anything up here. It's 19 all at the moment. Division have themselves a player advantage. They've got themselves some time and space as well.
Ooh, Talent.
Yeah. This is just making things a little bit worse for the CT defenders. They gotta know that something's gonna be happening towards A here, but Enery, with this flank from behind onto short, might be able to get something. But he's gotta help out his teammates soon. Takes a bit of the pressure off by taking out Sicken there, but Oreo is hiding in the smoke. Talent waiting for him with the AWP, and that is 2019 Division. A slight lead as we go into the second half of double overtime. Yeah, this is something. Look, something's gonna give eventually, right?
Eventually,
one of these
something
teams
has to happen.
This starts to take a toll on you as a player in a high stress situation. Perhaps in the lower rounds, you're not as worried about it, but there's all this extra stuff that's going to be playing in your mind right now, which is, we've made it this far, and in FFA's case, we fought incredibly hard that last map, and in Division's case, we could not just blitz through everybody and hit this brick wall. We've built up too much momentum. We need to go through and see this to the end. Either way, this is a bit of a story for either team, because yeah, this will get you into the ESL 1 or your closed qualifiers, which is big news, especially for Southeast Asia as a region, which is pretty active. We don't get to see them as often, of course, but there's lots of teams. It's a very active set of communities there.
There's a lot happening in the region, and it is, as you said, extremely active. And I'm happy to see that the region is getting so much more exposure recently in the tournaments that we have seen. And this push out to long is absolutely getting decimated by Division. But bringing it back to your point of...
for a moment.
What about Siren? Yeah, he's in Goose. Yeah, every single round, he runs up short, and he ends up on the A site somehow, and I don't know what happens. He doesn't get a kill. Sometimes he does, and he's just always hanging around the outside. I want to come back to your point of something has to give really quickly while Oreo is trying to survive this barrage. You look at this here. You've got a double overtime. Whoever wins next is going to have such an advantage because these teams are going to be so exhausted after this match. They've already played 2 matches already before this, and now they're playing 1.5 to 2 matches, depending how many overtimes we have. Again, now.
Yeah, we could perhaps talk about that a little bit here because they're going to be winning. They're going to be facing up against the winner of Blank versus. I'm not going to pronounce this correctly. I do apologize. For Sina 1 India. That might be it.
Yeah, for Sina 1 India, I think.
Yeah. So either of those teams, their match seems to be going a bit more standard. They're still in regulation. That could change. But you're absolutely right. This is one. It's going to perhaps take the wind out of either team, both teams, regardless if it goes to the next one.
It's a test of endurance right here, and it's a test of endurance and mental fortitude for the rest of the tournament as well.
Yeah, but if they can pull it off, if they can fight this hard and make it through, that is earning your spot 110%. So yeah, it's part of the journey, and it makes for an amazing story if they can pull it off. Talent winning that duel is good news for him. Oh, this is a bad start for FFA. This puts them at that player disadvantage, and it pretty much makes them susceptible to that mid-round adaptability that we've been talking about, and with Enery going as well, this only makes it worse. This puts Division, I believe, very close to finally securing this one.
That it does. I mean, Division, they're 2 rounds ahead. If they win this round now, I believe they hit that victory mark. And yeah. FFAMIX, they need to get this round, and if they don't, it's sort of game over for them.
Well,
there it is.
That's it. Yep. Look, that was incredibly hard fought by the team there. So, look, props to both of them for playing an excellent map of CS there. Wow. Even though we're not going to be seeing FFA anymore in this particular qualifier, keep track of those names. This is going to be a lineup, and there's going to be some players to keep track of. I want to see more of Forsaken and Dreamy as a duo. It's an AWPing duo. It seems to work out incredibly well for them. But let's talk about the victors. Division. This was their first proper test. We've been talking about it before, and I think it was that and more. This wasn't just a test. This was like the HSCs or whatever year 12 or high school graduation test that you have on steroids. This was tough. This was your PhD. Okay, this is your magnum opus. Trying to work your way through this one.
Yeah.
Maybe not that far, but anyways, that's fantastic news for Division. They get to advance. FFA, unfortunately, they'll not be playing anymore. But as I said, we want to see more of them. I think we're still gonna have to figure out exactly which map we're going to be covering next as we move on. But with that in mind, Blake, did you have any other thoughts about this map?
No, I didn't have anything else at the moment. So I'm just gonna leave it at what you said. And I feel like we're going to go to a little bit of a break until the next match starts up.
Sounds good.
We're not sure what we're bringing you yet, so stay tuned, and we'll let you know when we come back.